Kuala Lumpur.
All right.
This is so short. Does it go higher?
It doesn't. That's the.
What the fuck?
It wasn't.
Whoa.
Watch your language.
No.
This is a family show.
Jeez, Harley.
Wow.
What did we bring you in here for? We didn't bring you in here to muck it up.
You mean fuck it up?
To taint it.
Wow.
With your...
You want to talk about tainting?
No. No, I don't. That sounds awful.
All right, I think you're good. I think I'm loud as usual, so I'm going to turn me down. Chris,
You should,
I
yeah.
think you're decent.
You think I'm decent? Oh. Damn.
Always.
Stop.
Oh my god.
This is the Always More podcast.
Hello and hello. It is March 23rd. Welcome to the Always More podcast, where we believe there's always more room at the table for honest questions, meaningful conversation, and deeper understanding. Today on the pod, we are talking about our reviews and recommendations of the week, affordable drugs, Ilurus fulgens, the fairer sex, and so much more. But first, I'm your host, Christopher Thomas Ford. Sitting next to me is Harley Bianco.
Hello.
And across the table from me is my shining light, Timothy Allen Lichty.
Hello, beautiful.
Hey, how's it going?
That was so romantic. Oh my god.
You know, I was always told you can't be romantic with male friends.
Yeah, it's
But
bullcrap.
I disagree entirely.
Why can't you?
Something about being gay, like,
Oh, right.
like it's a problem.
Like, two heterosexual men cannot be, like, romantic or,
Yeah.
like, yeah.
No.
Oh, right.
This is my heterosexual life mate. If something happens to Janelle, God forbid, I'm moving in with Tim.
Absolutely. As you should.
We'll put the kids in one room. They can share a room. I'll just take the other room. It's fine. Or I can just, like, curl up in a ball in that corner over there. It's fine. Either way.
You know,
I know I have a
valid.
place to go, though. That's the point.
Yeah.
Wow.
Always.
Always.
Although if something happens
You're making
to
like
Jess, you
intense
can't-
eye
you
contact
can't
right
do
now.
that.
And I'm like,
Don't come to my house.
Don't come in your house?
No. Because I have a cat. I'm thinking out for you.
Sure, yeah.
You're allergic to cats.
That's true.
So I would find you a place. I'll give you the keys to the office, and
Yeah.
when John's not there, you can go into the office and do whatever you need to do. There's a bathroom in there, microwave, mini fridge.
See, this is what I love about the show Scrubs. It's like that show, which, by the way, are you a fan of? Have you watched Scrubs before? Yeah. To me, that's beautiful because it had like the first like heterosexual like guys that were like genuinely just loved each other.
Was
And-
it
Right.
heterosexual though? Like it was like
I mean, they're-
borderline.
yeah,
There's a
they're
twang.
On purpose. On purpose.
a little twang of
There was a twang
homosexuality.
Just a little bit. All right, guys. So welcome to our podcast. If you've
Yeah.
listened before, you kind of have an idea of what's going on. If you haven't listened before,
Shame
well,
on you.
you're wrong. Yeah,
You're wrong.
You absolutely
That's
need
it.
to have listened. We'll have some guests on in a little bit, but first let's jump right on into our segments.
Yeah.
We'll start with our Rec and Rev with that
Cute.
little audio.
Cute.
I love the little audios. Just
Thanks,
a-
man.
a
I worked
little
really hard to find
5
those
seconds.
things.
You did good.
What you should do is write like 20 of your own. Pick your
Oh.
favorite 5. We'll use those and then sell the other 5 or 15. My math is way off.
Done. All
5
right.
and 5. It's
You're
20.
cut off. You're cut off.
This episode brought to you by Twisted Tea. No, moving on. So let's start with our Rec and Rev. Harley, what do you got for us?
Speaking of alcohol, mine is Red Stag by Jim Beam.
Okay.
It's like a cherry whiskey. Tastes super good mixed with Dr. Pepper or like Coca-Cola, whatever you prefer. The description on this whiskey says, the kind of booze where you can wake up in an alley, in bed with a stranger, or in jail. And I just think that's so good.
I mean, depending on how much you drink, that's kind of all of it, right?
Yeah,
That's the
absolutely.
point
That's
of it.
That's
stages.
very true.
Yeah.
Stages, definitely.
Unless it's like White Claw.
Yeah, then
You
you're
can't,
not getting
end
anywhere.
up in jail in White Claw. There's no laws when you're drinking the claws. So they can't throw you in jail because there's no laws.
Right.
Period.
That's how that works.
Amen.
Yeah.
I've had the Red Stag before. It's actually all right. I'm not a fan of cherry flavor though.
Oh,
so,
okay,
Like
that's
I like
valid.
cherries, but I don't like cherry flavored
Is that why you
stuff.
didn't like that Woodford Reserve I gave you? Had a little bit of cherry in it.
It has notes of cherry. I
Yeah.
like the Woodford though.
Okay.
It's not like an overpowering cherry scent or flavor, whatever. It's flavor. That's the word.
Gotcha.
It's just minor notes.
As someone who's not super big into strong whiskeys, this is top tier for me personally.
A little lighter of a
Yeah.
whiskey.
Yeah.
It's not one of those like punch you in the face.
Oh, yeah, no.
Astringent
Like Tim drinks
Kentucky
it just
bourbon.
Yeah, he just drinks it straight on ice, and I'm like,
That's not even the way to do it. Like, I'll drink it on the rocks all day long. That's no problem. But I can't drink it neat. Like, a neat bourbon, that stuff burns.
yeah.
I'm not about that life. My wife is. Janelle loves it.
Really?
Yeah, she drinks like the champ, man.
Oh, my
she drinks
God.
with the best of them.
What a baddie. I love her.
Right?
Love her so much.
So great. Tim, what do you got for us?
Yes. So it is Women's History Month. Woo!
Yeah.
And in celebration of that, I had a movie on my watch list I've been wanting to watch for a long time. I haven't gotten to it, and that is the movie Battle of the Sexes, which has Emma Stone and Steve Carell in it, and it's all about Billie Jean King. And if you don't know who she is, she's retired, but she was a phenomenal tennis star.
Right.
Like, arguably the greatest female, or just in general.
Definitely up there. I would.
Well, I forgot you were into tennis. Like, you actually have some arguments to this, but from what I know,
I think both Venus and Serena Williams would
true.
definitely top her.
But she's a Hall of Famer.
But
That's
for
what I'm
sure,
saying.
no, for
That's
sure.
what I'm
Like,
saying.
she's
She wasn't
OG.
just she wasn't just some side,
Yeah, it's like you can't compare Larry Bird to Michael Jordan. You can't compare her
Yeah.
to Venus and Serena. Like, yeah, I get it.
Look, I don't know why you're trying to downplay this woman, Chris. Okay, I'm just saying she was phenomenal.
Oh, okay, sorry. I was just making sure that, you know what, you're right. I shouldn't have said anything.
Yeah.
As
No
a man, it is my job to shut up.
Absolutely. Continue, Tim.
Anyways, the movie was really enlightening. I didn't know much about her story, and I got you. I finally got you.
You're so excited.
I am, because for weeks you've been getting on to me.
Well, it's much easier because, you know, as a person of color, I can do that to you.
Yeah, 1,000%.
And you can't do it back.
Nope. So,
Nope.
so yeah, it was a really good movie, very enlightening. I get to see a little bit behind her story, and there's a lot of nuance because she had a romantic relationship with a woman that she met while being married, and so there's a lot of just gray area. But of course, nothing is black and white, and there's no like bad, good, evil. It's just there's a lot of complexity to it all. So I really appreciated the honesty in the movie, and yeah, it's really good. I highly recommend it.
Yeah. All right, cool. Well, for mine, we are going to talk about the new Disney Plus movie because as a father of a 2-year-old, I have no time to watch anything that I want to watch.
Amen.
Absolutely.
But I enjoyed this movie. Brand new Disney Plus movie, Turning Red. So it's about this girl, May, who is just now turning 13, and she finds out that in her family lineage, all through all of the women in her family, there is a blessing curse type thing where they are essentially like panda werewolves.
Oh.
They turn into this giant red panda.
That is so cute.
And
Oh my God.
it's definitely an allegory for periods.
Well, yeah.
That's 100% a period movie, coming of age, young girl. All of a sudden, she's turning red. You know, it is what it is.
Yeah.
But it was a really cute movie. It shows a lot of the differences in relationships between the girl and her mom, the girl and her friends, you know, who she's expected to be versus who she actually is, who she wants to be. She goes to see this concert, and her mom freaks out, and she's like, well, you know, it was me. I wanted to go see the concert. All kinds of cool stuff. But it is a really fun movie because there's a lot of, like, transformations between her and the giant red panda. The animation is really cool. It's just a fun family movie. Got a lot of shade from typically white male critics.
And that's where it mostly
that
comes from. Yeah.
didn't understand her storyline because they couldn't relate to a little girl, basically.
Huh.
That's crazy how that works.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Who would
like,
have thought?
like they can't
Who would've
relate,
thought?
so it's a bad movie all of a sudden, right? But a lot of people also defended the movie and got some of those critics to take down their reviews, which I find
Hey.
great.
Yeah.
I love when the consumer of art protects the art from critics. That's always
Yeah.
one of my favorite things. Like the Sonic the Hedgehog movie that they bullied into changing the whole
Oh,
scene.
yeah.
That was so great. So Turning Red, I would definitely recommend that one. It's especially if you have kids or if you are yourself a woman. Because
Nice.
I think you would relate to that
I see what you did there.
I'll have to get
Good
Ari to
job.
watch it.
because it's Women's History Month.
Good job.
In case you didn't know.
Actually,
case
I'm
we
not going to
haven't
say
said
good
it
job.
enough.
That's the bare minimum.
Bare minimum.
You don't get good job.
I don't get congratulations. Bare minimum. All right. Moving on from that, we have our next segment, which is my favorite segment of all. Tim's, well, actually,
All right, I got a little bit of history for you all today.
Wow.
Tim is that
I love
guy.
it.
He's a history guy.
Okay, so while most consider the pros cons list just to be a simple way to decide what to do in regarding like tough decisions, it was actually Ben Franklin who created a precise and effective model in which to use the pros and cons method.
Benjamin Franklin.
Benjamin Franklin.
The bald
Like-
one? I'm just kidding. The balding guy?
That dude.
Well, I keep hearing everybody like Benjamin Franklin, the president.
Oh, no.
He was never the president. But yeah, that guy. The one you think
He's on
was
the
the president.
100
He's on a
Correct.
hunted.
Yeah.
honey.
On a hunted.
So I heard this on the Office Ladies podcast, which, by the way, is a fantastic podcast. You should go check it out.
If you like ours, you should listen to that one. If you like that one, please listen to ours.
Yes. So an article by Glenn Stock, written in the allocation.com, he describes the method as such. Here it goes. Franklin's technique was to make two lists side by side in two columns on a sheet of paper. You know, the stereotypical, you know,
Right.
the noble
The way
way.
everybody knows.
Right. He would list the pros on one column, the cons on the other column. For many of us, that list may suffice to help visualize both sides of the decision. However, an extensive list might be too overwhelming to consider, and it may leave with more confusion. So Ben solved that problem, and he made his list with much more enlightening by applying an algorithmic technique to the process. So here's the 4 steps. Number 1, once he completed the list, he would analyze it and apply estimated weights to each item. So like how important is each of these pros and cons?
He's like, this one's about 5 pounds. Give this one like a 42.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Like, they have actual weights. 3.7 kilos.
Okay, so number 2, then he would strike out 2 items with the same weights. Because that makes sense. Like if you have something that's a pro that's worth 2, but you have on the negative a one that's not as significant, that doesn't mean that you should cross out like one of each. You want to have one that has the same weight. Does that make sense?
I think.
Yeah, so it's like the pros and cons of playing with electricity. You might discover electricity for homes. You might die. The death one kind of outweighs the other, but you might also become a famous inventor. So that one kind of brings it up. If you die.
Oh,
doing
I
what
see what
you
you're saying.
love,
Yeah, you're
like,
weighing the outcomes.
Yeah.
Of, yes, yeah. Well, it's just like if there's 2 big cons or one big con but 2 little pros, but they equal the same weight, then you can cross that out. Otherwise, the con might be more significant. Like, hey, I might get electrocuted and die.
Okay, I think
If that's
I get
more
it.
significant to you, then you don't have to cross it out.
Right.
Oh,
Okay.
That one was on the pros. You might die.
Oh,
Come on, man. Number 3, he continued by removing all items where 1 pro would equal in weight 2 of the cons. That's what we basically just said. That eliminated 3 items. Then he extended this in reverse by removing all items where 2 cons equal 3 pros. That's 5 more things eliminated. So essentially, it was all weighted. So that's how he thought you should be able to use a pros and cons list. You shouldn't just have certain things on there. You should weight each item and then start crossing them out.
And then whichever column had the remaining weight, I guess, would
Yep.
be the column he went with.
Yep,
that makes
Okay.
sense.
So Ben Franklin used an algorithm.
correct.
You're saying Ben Franklin is the original TikToker.
Oh,
And that's not what I'm saying. He used...
Look, the only time I ever hear the word algorithm nowadays is in reference to TikTok. So that's what I'm going to think about.
but it's
Fair
like an equation. Then
That's what an algorithm is.
yeah. So instead of how it pertains to your For You page, it's actual math.
I
I
mean,
mean, that's kind of what it does, though, on
it's the
TikTok.
For You page of life. Because this is something that you're
The
either
For You
going
page
to
for
do
life.
or not do. If you do it, it's for you.
Oh yeah.
It's the For You page of life. He's the original TikToker. I rest my case.
I don't have
Lawyered.
I don't have the energy to argue right
Lawyer.
now.
Yeah. Okay, valid.
Sure, you win. That's what I got.
You can have this one during Women's History Month.
I'll take it. I will take it. Anything I can get during Women's History Month. Moving on from that one, we have our next segment. I think Harley should do this one.
Oh, come on, you got this.
You can do it.
What did I miss? Ooh.
That was good.
Thank you, thank you.
That was good.
Very good,
Wow.
very good.
Notes from our studio audience? Yeah. Applause. Light applause. There we go.
All they do is
We actually have a studio audience in
Got
today,
golf
guys.
claps.
golf
Got
claps.
golf claps.
Very
from our
little,
studio
very little
audience.
laughs. So make me a little self-conscious. I know they're being respectful, but it's still kind of like,
No,
oh, okay.
they've been a key in over there.
Feel
Just
free
a
to
little
laugh.
bit. Just,
I'm a little
Feel
deaf,
free to
too.
laugh, just not too loud. Laugh quietly.
At him.
Laugh to yourselves.
I think
All
it'll
right,
be
so
okay.
this is the part of this is the part of the show where we like to present you with some news you probably didn't hear about. Harley, Take it away.
Okay, so mine.
I put you at the top of the list.
It's kind of blew me away. So a British teenager breaks the world record for assembling Mr. Potato Head.
I can't imagine that.
So is this like a Rubik's Cube kind of thing?
I guess, but let's talk about it, okay? So, a 13-year-old, she broke the Guinness World Record for assembling Mr. Potato Head in 5.69 seconds.
That's where I need to get a job. I need to start
put
working with
anything
Guinness because
in
these
that
guys will
book.
record anything.
Yeah. They will put anything in that book.
Absolutely. And why? Okay, hold on. Let me finish. So Matilda Walden, she became the first person to break the Mr. Potato Head record in 10 years by taking off 0.9 seconds from the original world record.
Wow.
Her next one that she's considering taking on is doing it blindfolded, because the current record stands at 14.9 seconds.
Those are two separate records there.
Yeah, two different
They
ones.
will put anything in this book.
Yeah.
It's like, you want to see us do something? Now you want to see us do that same exact thing, but blindfolded and slightly slower?
I'll do it.
It's like Rubik's Cube. It's like they started with like the 3x3, and then they went on to like do
the
it like
bigger-
9x9, and then what's the next one after that? Is it 18? No,
Huge is
80
what it is.
I have no
Too
idea.
many.
64 by 64? That's
something
how
like that.
crayons
Yeah,
are.
It's
it's
just-
crazy.
Why? Who still has a Mr. Potato Head? What? That's still a
I
thing?
already had one for a little while.
Well,
actually.
apparently, this 13-year-old British girl still has a Mr. Potato Head.
I love that for her. Love it. And
for her.
I'm impressed.
for her.
Oh, it had also mentioned that her little technique, I think, was grabbing the nose and the mouth at the same time and like shoving it on there.
That's some
Like, just-
skills.
Just she's got technique to it. That's
Tell
the
you
crazy
what.
part.
She's practiced. That's what gets me.
You know how to get
Can
to
you
Carnegie
imagine,
Hall,
like,
don't you?
as a 13-year-old, your friends are like, hey, we're going to go see the Batman on Friday at 7. You want to come with us? Can't, guys.
Gotta
Gotta practice.
What are you practicing, man? You seem like you're really dedicated towards
Potato
this.
Head.
No, I feel like she
Oh.
would leave it a mystery. She's like, you'll know my name.
You'll see my name in lights.
That's good.
You will remember my name.
Are you sure you don't go to the movies? Come on, let's just have fun. That's why no one will remember your name.
It's like,
This
I
is
mean,
why
I
you're
like,
nobody.
I like Potato Head too, but you don't see me practicing like that. And that's why no one will remember you.
Oh,
yeah.
that's good stuff.
All right.
I think
well,
that's awesome.
That is good. I like that.
Good for her.
story.
Go
I think we
Matilda.
should all three apply to work at the
Guinness?
Guinness Book
Yeah,
of
let's
World
do it.
Records.
Seriously, that sounds like a lot of fun.
It's like, this will be the fastest time somebody's rolled down this hill. Now put on a blindfold. It's the fastest time you've rolled down the hill blindfolded. Now put on a blindfold and handcuff your hands behind your back. It's the fastest time that's ever happened. Now handcuff yourself in front. The fastest time that's ever happened. Wear 2 handcuffs and a gold watch. It's the fastest time that's ever happened.
And
I
don't
could
spill
make
this
these
beer.
records. I could make these records all day long. Fastest time to finish that beer. Fastest time to spill that beer. Fastest time to go get a replacement beer for the guy that's writing the records. Snap, snap. Let's go. I need a new beer is what I'm saying.
Oh, that's good stuff.
Tim, tell us your story. What
Okay.
news did we not hear that you did?
So this is good. This is good news. This is happy news. This is a good thing.
Will this affect me directly?
Actually, yes.
Oh, well, then I care about it.
Yeah. So Mark Cuban, the
Already off to a bad start.
I know billionaire, whatever.
Eat the rich.
So he has decided to make his own pharmacy. Now that might sound bad, but this is where things turn good. You can just see Chris's face right now.
Go on.
Okay, so here's the story. According to Chris Morris at Fortune.com, the entrepreneur, Dallas Mavericks owner, Shark Tank host, crypto enthusiast, has launched the Mark Cuban Cost Plus Drug Company, an online pharmacy that promises lower prices on over 100 medications, including ones commonly prescribed for high cholesterol and hypertension. To lower cost, Cuban cut out the middleman, setting up his own pharmaceutical wholesaler and negotiated directly with the drug manufacturers and pharmacies for rebates and discounts. It sells the drugs at a 15% markup and an added $3 pharmacist fee. Shipping is $5. So among the discounted drugs is a, how do you say that word, Chris?
Mesalamine.
Thank you. Which treats
Ulcerative colitis.
that colitis. Sorry, my eyes are glossing over because of, I don't know, drugs. Normally
Clearly, you need this pharmacy.
Normally, that retails for $940 a month, which falls as low as $102 per month with vouchers. Cuban Cost Plus will sell it at $32.40 per month. That's $32.40 a month. So there's like many other options like that, including like insulin and just high expensive drugs.
The insulin is the one that gets me.
Yeah, so it's a good thing. He's basically cutting out the middleman. Now, granted, it's a business and he's making a profit, but at the same time, he's significantly cutting the cost on for
I could be down
consumers.
with that.
So
You know, I'm not a huge fan of Mark Cuban.
Yeah.
Or really any billionaire.
yeah,
You don't need that much money.
no,
Right.
But I think I could be down with this.
yeah,
Because, like, my insulin for a 30-day supply is, what is 490 times 2?
shit,
Yeah, 980? Is that it? Is that the math?
sure,
980? My 30-day supply of insulin without insurance is 980.
Jeez.
With insurance and manufacturer coupons together, I pay $60 per box, which is a 30-day supply for 2 different insulins. So $120 a month for my insulin
wow,
to live.
yeah,
I die without this medication.
Yeah.
And they find it just to charge $120. And then they say that they're saving me because they gave me coupons.
Mm.
So I could be down with this. $30.
Harley.
30 is a lot better than
Wow.
120.
right.
Yeah, I'm down with that.
So it's a, you know, it is what it is. Like, I'm hoping to see other good change come from like him and like actually doing things to actually help people. And
Yeah,
so
because that's going to force the market to drop their costs.
exactly,
Too.
exactly. So it's a good sign. It's a good thing. We'll see how it goes.
All right,
Yeah.
Mark Cuban.
All right, Chris,
You've
your
got-
last son.
You've got me.
Okay, Marky Mark.
All right. So my story is not too bad, not great, obviously like yours, but I'm over here talking about mother flipping snakes on a monkey fighting plane.
I didn't
you-
read your notes of what.
If you've ever watched the TBS version of Snakes on a Plane,
Oh, yeah.
that's the edited sound. 'Cause
Yeah.
No way.
I'm tired of these mother snakes on this mother plane, but they can't say that on TBS, so it's monkey fighting and mother flipping. Those are the things they changed it to.
Perfect.
Side note, one of my favorite TBS edits is Me, Myself, and Irene with Jim Carrey.
Yes.
Every time he says MF, which is a lot throughout the movie,
Yeah.
they change it to Mamma Jamma, which is hilarious. They don't even change the inflection. So, like, in one scene, he says, Mamma Jamma, just like that. They pull it from that scene and they insert it into every other scene. So when he's angry, he's like, man, I'm tired of this Mamma Jamma. And it is the best. Anyway, back to my story. It's a little fun caveat there. So TikTok user Adele8808 or 8808, the letter O, I'm not sure which one. I think it's 08, posted a video of an AirAsia flight where there appears to be a snake that has stowed aboard the plane. Could you imagine being 30,000 feet
It's
in
happening.
the air?
It's happening.
And you just, you're yawning, you're kind of falling asleep, getting cozy in your little blanket and your pillow that they gave you with the headphones that don't work. And you just look slightly above your head. And you see a snake slithering through the lights that are just there on the aisle.
Absolutely not.
I would freak out. Look, as a black man, I would freak out.
Is this JetBlue?
Spirit Airlines. You got to pay extra to not have snakes. That's how they do it. No, this was AirAsia. They were on a flight from Kuala Lumpur, which is the capital, all the way to Tawau. They had to make an emergency stop, though,
No
because
kidding.
somebody was like, yo, there's a snake here. And I feel like the pilot was like, nah, I don't buy it.
You're just seeing those little squiggly things when you look in the light in the right
Yeah.
direction.
Are you sure it's a
It's
snake?
just your eyes. You're
Just your
fine.
eyes.
No, but the captain came out, saw the snake, decided to make an emergency landing. But luckily, everyone was fine. The
Nice.
snake was okay. They captured the snake, got
Okay.
it off the plane. The pilot assured everyone that they were not in danger. They reached their original destination later on that day. They just had to make a quick emergency stop wherever they were going. According to the airline, this is a rare occurrence,
But
but it
Well.
has happened before.
Well, yeah.
So I'm thinking this is like AirAsia, Spirit Airlines are like on the same level. Like,
but can you imagine? The snake is like, dude, I paid for my ticket. Like, let me fly. Like, what are you doing?
it's like, bro, I'm trying to get to wow. Like, I'm trying to be there. Why you taking me off?
My family's waiting for me.
He's like, I literally didn't do anything wrong.
He finally gets to his like brother's wedding like 3 days later. He's like, look, man, I tried. Okay, I bought the plane ticket. I was on the
You will
plane.
not believe what happened.
TSA kicked me off. Like, you wouldn't even believe it. TSA, they threw me in a pillowcase, put me in the jungle. Like, I didn't even know where I was. I had to get directions from a monkey. It was crazy.
His brother's like, no excuses. You're cut
Yeah,
off.
he doesn't believe him. Nobody believes him. Like, nobody in the family believes him. That's just Marquise being Marquise. Oh, man. So all of that to say, there is no info on the type of snake or whether or not it was venomous. We don't know if there was an actual danger to everybody. But the airline said everybody was fine, so we're just going to
We
assume
can trust that.
Yeah,
everybody's fine.
absolutely.
Yeah. So, that
All is
happened.
well.
So if you're ever on a plane, you should maybe double check your lights. Just make sure there's no snakes there. The little air vents that are by the stewardess call button.
Yeah.
Just check those. Maybe close them if you're worried. I'm absolutely closing mine. So we'll go from there.
I've never been on a plane before, so I don't have to worry about that.
Really?
Yeah.
Hold on.
Wow.
You've never been on a plane?
No.
All right. So for the Always More
poor.
Pod company retreat,
Retreat.
we need to
Just
find
flying
some
to-
way
Just fly to Houston. Just Austin to Houston.
No, we're taking Colleen to Austin.
Colleen to Austin. Little 20-minute flight.
Yeah.
That'll be fine.
Doesn't our old friend Jordan, he flies. We should get him to
Oh.
give him a call.
Is he like official yet? Or
Yeah, I
As a
think
pilot?
so. Yeah, he has his license and
Dang.
everything.
Are we talking about the same Jordan?
No.
No,
The one that was on the podcast?
No.
No. Okay.
different one.
Okay.
Way different.
So one of the friends that I don't know
Correct.
that you have.
What? Oh,
One of my replacements.
Oh.
Your backup friends.
he's
Oh,
literally younger
God.
than I am.
So?
What? You
You
think
never
they're
heard
close friends?
You've never heard of trading up for the younger model?
Oh.
Tim's going to leave me for a younger one.
Let's close us up, dude. It's ridiculous.
All right, guys. We're going to head to our break. Please stick around. We've got some ads for you to listen to that make us some money, hopefully, one day. And we'll be back with our interviews.
Woo! Okay, welcome guys. So we will now be moving into our main segment for today, which is all about Women's History Month. Women. We are women, independent. Is that how that song goes? I don't even know. It's fine. So I have two of my besties joining me here today, and I would like for them to introduce themselves and say a little bit about them. So I'm going to start on my left. I'm not going to say your name because you're about to say your name, so go ahead.
Hello, I am Mackenzie, also known as Kenzie. I am 21. My pronouns are she, her,
Per.
and do you want me to do the historical moment? Okay, so I would have to say Roe versus Wade.
Mm.
I mean, obviously, having the right to vote is pretty great, but
Just maybe.
I want to be problematic, and I want to say Roe versus Wade because I like having rights.
Yeah.
And those will be taken away soon, probably.
Very good. Love that. How old are you?
21?
21. Okay.
21.
21. Okay. Go ahead.
Hello, I am Angelica, but people call me Angel.
Yay.
I am 22.
22.
My pronouns are she, her.
Per.
I don't really know. That's, yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Very good. Period.
Being born.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Women's historical moment, Angel being birthed.
Yeah.
Yeah, get into it. Okay. So basically what it's going to consist of is I'm going to go over some like background on Women's History Month, why it's even like a thing, and some very iconic moments that were chosen by our dear host, co-host, Timoteo. We love him. Chris also had some really good ones, but they were cartoons. We'll see if I mention them or not. I mean, but they were still valid. Period. They were still valid. So, background on, and obviously I want your guys' thoughts, input, of course, and then
Yes.
afterwards I'm going to ask you guys some questions. See, sound like a plan?
Yup.
Yeah. Get into it. Okay, so some background on Women's History Month. So in 1980, the U.S. President Jimmy Carter, which is so bizarre to me because if you know anything about this president, he was hated. No one liked
Woo.
Jimmy. Not very good. But he declared that the week of March 8th was National Women's History Week. And he was urging everybody in the United States to like participate, which like, okay, okay, Jimmy, I see you.
Okay, Jimmy.
Doing the thing. But basically, he said that too often the women were unsung and sometimes their contributions went unnoticed. But the achievements, leadership, courage, strength, and love of the women who built America was as vital as that of men whose names we know so well.
Good for him.
Right? Like, isn't that freaking
Would not have
crazy?
expected that.
No, not at all. Not at all. But eventually, in 1987, the week-long event officially became a month-long one when Congress passed a resolution designating I choked. Designating March as Women's History Month. So, ever since then, Women's History Month has been the entire month of March, and we've gotten to celebrate it. Which,
Yes, we should.
I don't know about you guys, but when I was younger, I don't remember people being like, oh,
Women's History Month.
Right?
Yeah, no.
No.
like at all.
don't
remember.
Until like
Not at
maybe
all.
a few years ago.
Yeah.
And it's just so bizarre to me because it's been like that since the 80s. So what the hell?
Like, why are we just now really putting it out there?
Yeah. Like, very weird. Do you have any like thoughts on why that is? Maybe like just because people maybe just didn't want to like.
Because
Talk
people
about
hate women.
Yeah.
We're in a man's world.
True. But I don't know. I just think that's so bizarre. And I wonder if it's because like Jimmy Carter was not a well-liked president that they're like, screw this guy and everything he says. We don't want to celebrate women. What have they done for us?
Women?
AKA men.
Trash.
Right? And now people are like, oh, we love women. Oh my God.
Women.
But yeah, so I just think that's so interesting. Any other thoughts you may have? Anything?
I don't know. I'm just kind of surprised that he was the one that introduced it.
Right?
Yeah.
And that it was kind of like recent. Like the 80s,
that's
I
pretty
don't
recent.
think
It was literally like 5 years ago.
Tim, when were you born? 91.
Wow.
You're born like what is that, 5 years after they made it the month? 88, 89, 90, 91. 4 years. That is so bizarre.
4 years and then women mattered.
Yeah.
Wow, isn't that crazy?
Wow.
Okay, so let's get into some historical moments that I think are very much iconic. So, in 1851, hell of a long time ago, we have Sojourner Truth. Am I saying that correctly, Chris? Sojourner Truth delivers Ain't I a Woman speech. It was sold at auction with a flock of sheep in New York in 1806. African-American Sojourner Truth, born Isabella Baumfree, managed to escape slavery and become one of the world's first women's rights activists. She was the first black woman to win a case against a white man when she fought for her son to be returned to her in 1828. And she delivered her most famous speech at the Ohio Women's Rights Convention in 1851. She said, and I quote, "I have as much muscle as any man and can do as much work as any man."
Period.
Oh, I love how we're like, yes, women.
Yeah.
But isn't that so bizarre that was so long ago, but she made such a difference considering the time period.
Especially against a white man.
Yes. Especially when everything was against, like, not only African Americans at the time, but especially African American women.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the fact that she was able to make such an impact, I think, is completely revolutionary. And the fact that cases like Breonna Taylor are still, like, up for debate right now.
I know.
When it's like she had nothing to do with the way that she was murdered. They had no right.
And they still don't care.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's like, are you kidding me right now?
So, very. So, our next thing we have is in 1911. There's something in my eyeball.
Your finger.
No. During Women's History Month? In 1911 was the first ever International Women's Day. So more than 1 million people marched for women's rights on the very first International Women's Day, and it was celebrated around the world. Devastatingly, just 1 week later, a factory fire killed more than 145 women workers, drawing attention to the terrible working conditions they suffered. The tragedy led to the development of laws surrounding workplace safety in the U.S. What are your thoughts?
Sounds targeted to me.
Oh.
They're like, women
Kill 'em.
internationally? Wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Die.
I mean, kind of. I just hate that women had to die in order for...
People to care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because wasn't that during a time where, like, wars were still, like, really big and
Yeah.
women were left behind to, like, clean up everything.
Yeah, because it was right on like the verge of World War I.
Yeah.
And just the fact that in general, factory working conditions were absolutely horrible. So bad.
There had to be a factory fire for them to be like, oh yeah, that's pretty shitty. Let's change that.
Yeah. Like, y'all didn't think, there's so many books about this time period too, about how like awful the working conditions were. But I just think it's devastating that women had to like 145 women had
That's a
to
lot.
like pass.
How big was that factory?
That's a great question. I'm not sure, but
Probably not big.
yeah, I'm also gonna say that.
Cramped in there.
Yeah, absolutely. And the fact that they couldn't, I think, oh my gosh, it's the was it like a, hold on,
Didn't we learn about this in high school
Yes.
history? I
Which
feel
is
like
good.
we did.
I feel like it had something to do with either a textile factory.
Yeah.
We have the Triangle Shirtwaist Factory Fire. That was in Greenwich Village in Manhattan, New York City. Greenwich. It's spelled like Greenwich, but you know how they are. Greenwich. It was the deadliest industrial disaster in the history of the city and one of the deadliest in U.S. history. That is absolutely bonkers. It caused the death of 146 garment workers, some of whom were men, or men, who died in the fire from smoke inhalation or falling and jumping to their deaths to escape.
I think we did,
I think we did talk about that.
because I remember the jumping to their death type thing.
Like, that is so sad.
Yeah.
Especially, like, a week after International Women's Day. And then, like, 145 of them are, like, perish.
Yep.
Like, yeah. So it goes to show that you can have a good thing and bad things will still happen to women.
Wow. Whoa.
Next thing we have, which is pretty impressive. We have 1913. Marie Curie was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize. Was it Peace Prize or just Nobel Prize? I think it was just a Nobel Prize for chemistry, which, whoa.
We love women in STEM.
Yes. Yes. So this was super alarming for everybody at the time because they were like, oh my gosh.
A woman in science?
Yeah, no.
Wrong.
And it was so bad. She can't do math. She can't even do 2 plus 2. This triangle, bro. And that's like, oh, that's crazy to me. Like 13? And she's like, I'm proving people wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's so good.
It's just weird to think about. That's like a little over 100 years ago.
Right. Like not that long ago.
No.
That's what gets me most about women's history.
Is that it's all pretty recent.
And
Yeah.
We're still going through it.
We're still
Yeah,
going through it.
literally.
Next up, we have 1973, which
Oh, that's the year my mom was born.
Ah,
Women's History Month.
Jennifer!
Woo!
Which is what Tim had mentioned earlier during his, was it N Rev, I think? Billie Jean King wins the Battle of the Sexes. Brought to vivid life in the 2017 film of the same name, the tennis match Billie Jean King played and won against former #1 champion Bobby Riggs was one of the most watched televised sporting event in history. Billie Jean continued to campaign to pay equality in the sport.
I was like, damn, we got to pay for equality now.
I mean, yeah.
We still are.
If you really think about it. But yeah, and I'm pretty sure today she's still campaigning for like same wages for people of the same like jobs and careers.
Yeah, and we still don't
Right.
have that.
Right.
Cool.
I'm trying to think of a good example of a case in which that has happened. I think it was a TikTok that I watched, which kind of sucks that I have no source.
TikTok
for
is
this.
the source.
TikTok is the source. Was this woman who it doesn't deal with pay equality per se, but it does deal with the fact that she was trying to get into this management business like position, and it was actually in Texas. She's about like 30 something now. She said it happened when she was 22. Oh, just kidding. I do know exactly the TikTok. I can find it and put the source. And she was trying to get this management position, like just like an introductory kind of thing, and like work her way up, whatever. And so basically she's like at this mingling event where you kind of like go and you meet the people that you could potentially be working with. And she had met the head manager for this like branch of the company. And basically they're like talking, whatever. And then later throughout the night, she says she met with him again, and he told her verbatim, "I cannot hire you because I want to have sex with you."
I think I heard about that.
Yeah. And so,
You know how often we would not be hired if men just spoke their mind like that?
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're uncomfy. But yeah, and so she was like, she apparently went, like, her immediate reaction was to just cry because like, are you kidding me? First of all, why would you say that?
Yeah.
Second of all, why are you thinking that? And so she said she like started like, getting overwhelmed. And so she went to the bathroom, and apparently he followed her
Why?
to the restroom. And she was like, "Can you literally please like leave me alone?" Like,
Did he go into the restroom?
I think so. Or he was either trying to get in the restroom or something of that nature, but he just wouldn't leave her alone. And
That's grimy.
absolutely. And so now she's more like in her career and like a different thing. Obviously, she did not work for that company.
Good.
But she says that because she was 22, like that is our age. Like we're all in this realm. And she said like that at this age, it sucks that you have to kind of expect for those kinds of things to happen. But you should always look out for like the women that are like her age that will have your back because they've been there.
Yeah.
Which sucks because why?
Why should they have to go through that in
Yeah.
order for us to not have to go through that too?
Yeah. And why should we have to like go to them and rely on them and be like, "Hey, this happened," when it shouldn't be happening to us?
Yeah. It should have stopped a long time ago.
It's
Like, why
all
are we
long
still
time
going
ago.
through it?
Long time ago.
It reminds me of like when you have male friends, and there was like a trend on TikTok where you would ask your male friends, it was like, "Would you have sex with me even if we're just friends?" And they would always be like, "Yes," like without a doubt.
There's this thing apparently for some men that they do not befriend women that they think are ugly.
I saw that too.
So what?
Interesting.
I hate that.
Yeah.
It kind of makes me uncomfy.
Like I saw one where it was literally a text message between her and her guy friend, and the guy friend was like, "Dude, you're literally like just one of us, like you shotgun like a guy," and he was like, "But probably." Shout out if that's you, man.
You ugly.
You
Can't
ugly.
stand you. So, do you have any other thoughts on those events? Which of those 4 do you think is probably like not exactly your favorite, because obviously the one with the fire is pretty tragic, but like means something to you the most? Like, does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like impacts you the most. So there was the Sojourner Truth, where she won the case against the white man, and she gave her Ain't I a Woman speech, where she said, "I have as much muscle as any man and can do as much work as any man." 1911 with the first International Women's Day, 1913 with Marie Curie, and then 1973, which that is such a huge gap
Literally.
for
What?
like not only like women to, "Oh, you're in STEM, like cool, like let's," but 1973, like she's the first woman to, win a championship in tennis against a man. 1973, when your mother was birthed.
When my mama was born.
Like, what? That is so bizarre. But yeah, do any of those stand out to you?
I mean, honestly, all of them do. But it's just crazy to think that something so soon, like 1973, it was only like 48 years ago. Sorry, Mom. that was the first time. Like, for real?
Yeah.
It's kind of sad.
Angel?
I don't know. I'm kind of the same.
Yeah.
They all kind of made their own impact,
Yeah.
In different ways.
whether it's small or big, but it's doing something,
Yeah.
I guess. Bringing awareness.
Yeah.
I agree.
R.I.P. to those women in that fire, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially because most of the time, they were probably doing it to support their families,
Or forced.
or forced, which is also sad. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Women's history is so sad.
Women's History Month.
Okay, so I wanted to talk about, and I don't know if you guys know much about it, but one of my favorite like historical women, like ever. So have you ever heard of Sally Hemings?
Sounds somewhat familiar.
So she was one of Thomas Jefferson's slaves.
Oh.
And she was more of like a house slave. She kind of like pertained more to like the family, his wife, things of that nature. But basically, she had obviously forced sex with Thomas Jefferson and produced 4 children with him.
That's a lot of children.
That is a lot of children.
Like them kids, man.
Oh my God. But basically, she would travel with the Jefferson family, especially Thomas, whenever he would go to France. And in France, African Americans were free. They were not slaves. And so she had the ability at any moment to literally just like leave and just like walk away and be
And
like.
she stayed?
And she stayed because she asked him that to free their children. I think either as soon as like emancipation happened or like whenever they got back, she like promised him like, I would stay with you if you
let my children go.
Yeah, if you let our children go. And like that is so symbolic of like not only just like women caring about children, but a mother caring about a child. And then also like how she would rather endure that than have anybody she loves go through something like that.
Yeah.
Especially like because she had the opportunity to be free, you know?
She was like, no, I want my children to be free over me.
Yeah. So
Kind of depressing.
it is very depressing.
But like you said, it's pretty symbolic of women as a whole. So I feel like a lot of what we do is literally that. We care more about other people than ourselves.
Abso-freaking-lutely. Oh my God. So yeah, that's one of my favorite women, and I feel like she's not talked about enough. Especially because like in Hamilton, there's this one line where he says, "Hey Sally, won't you be a what does he say? Be a lamb, darling, and help me with something." And I'm like, Sally. No.
Sally, I'm sorry.
So yeah, very sad, but very powerful, I feel like. And I wish she was talked about more.
Yeah, because I feel like, honestly, I don't think I heard about that.
Yeah. Right.
She deserves her life to be spoken about.
Agreed. So now I'm going to get into some questions, which your answers may lead into other questions.
Yes.
So just be wary of that. The first question I have for you guys is what being a woman means to you.
So I kind of cheated a little bit because it's hard for me to put my thoughts into words, even though thoughts are words. So I screenshotted this from Safari because I thought, honestly, it was pretty accurate. So it says, being a woman means having a strong sense of identity, accepting your body as one that adapts and changes over time, being confident, and building up the people in your life. It means you have the wisdom to be grateful for what you have while still being hungry enough for growth.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Who wrote that? Or what website is it from?
Teen Vogue.
Love to hear it. It's still valid. I don't care.
Yeah.
That's very good.
It was just,
I feel like that really sums it up.
yeah. I mean, there's nothing
How am I
else.
supposed to answer after that?
I know.
Thank you, Teen Vogue.
For formulating a original thought, because I simply do not have any.
No thoughts.
My one brain cell.
Angel, do you have anything?
Well, yeah, I guess a little bit. After that, it's kind of hard.
Yeah, right.
But I guess. Hold on. What was the question again? Reiterate the question. So I can
What being a woman means to you?
I guess just being strong. Like even in our toughest times, like just having that strength and being able to like make those difficult choices as a woman. Like I feel like the fact that you are still here and you're still making those decisions make you just like such a strong, powerful person.
Yeah,
Yeah, I feel like women are so resilient.
Yeah.
absolutely.
Like we go through so much And sometimes we have to make selfish decisions or make decisions for other people. And it's
Yeah.
just like, geez,
It's a lot to do.
a man could never.
Y'all could never.
Would never. I like that you said person, because at the end of the day, I feel like although being a woman is very important, like that doesn't determine who we are as like an individual.
Yeah.
Like we have all of these traits because we are women, yes, but we are still powerful people at the end of the day.
Yeah, we're human beings, man.
Yeah.
We all have our flaws. That's okay.
Yeah. So the next question I have is, what perceptions would you change about women? Which this can like go to like stereotypes. This can go wherever you want it to go.
I have two, but I'll start off with the first one. Women being overly emotional.
Yes.
I feel like you can say something about a man's hairline and he starts crying.
Yeah.
A man's hairline. But women are overly emotional.
Oh, right.
Okay.
My favorite thing on TikTok right now is when men will be like, "Oh my God, your forehead's so big," and she goes like this,
Oh.
and she's like, "You think that's big?" Oh no, get him,
Yes, I love that.
so good.
And our queen Drew
Oh,
on TikTok, the way that
love
she
her.
just smashes them men.
Destroy the patriarchy. Yes,
Love her.
adore her so much. What was you? That was your first one.
Yeah.
What was your second one?
Not necessarily a perception, but more of just something as like a whole that women are impacted by, especially in public schools, is dress code. So boys can wear whatever they want, but as soon as I wear leggings, I'll get shot.
Right. Or assaulted.
Yeah.
Or in trouble.
Mhm.
Or sent home. Or
And I find that it's mostly because of male teachers
yes.
and not necessarily the male students.
Yeah, no, I agree. Or it's a woman who is actually a misogynist
Yeah.
and she can't stand the sight of a young girl even remotely being a woman. And she's like, "Oh, you're sexualizing yourself." And it's, yeah.
I think for a project, I wore a dress to school, and I had packed extra clothes because I knew I was going to get dress coded, and I did.
No.
Yes, and it was a dress that literally went to my knees, and she still had me do the hand thing where you put your hands by your side, and
Yeah.
they were like, that's too short. It literally went past, like, my middle, like, that much into my middle finger, and she was like, go change.
No way.
So I changed and then immediately changed back into my dress when I needed to do my project.
That is so stupid that you would have to go through that in the first place.
Yeah, that was like junior year.
Nice. What perceptions would you change?
Kind of like bouncing off of what you said of like, because like I hate how people kind of like objectify women.
Yeah.
Like they see us as an object and not like as you said earlier, as a person. Like we're people, and I kind of like they expect us to. They have all these expectations for us, and if we don't meet those expectations, like we're not living our life correctly, and it's just like, who are you to say how I'm supposed to live my life?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. It's very annoying when, because even from like being young, I feel like we were always told like, oh, you have to be like, well, you don't have to, but you get that reassurance of like, oh my gosh, you're such a pretty, sweet, quiet girl.
They're going to have to beat them boys off with a bat when you're older.
Yeah.
All family members have said
Yes.
that about me, and it made me
You're gonna
so
break some
uncomfy.
hearts and blah 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 blah.
I was
And
like,
just
I'm in 7th grade. Why are you telling me this? I'm here for
I'm 5 years old.
Yes. I remember literally going to like the nurse's office for a pad because I had started my period, and the nurse was like, "Oh my gosh, your dark hair and your blue eyes are gonna contrast. All the guys are gonna fall in love with you." And I'm like, "Well, joke's on you now, heifer. I'm queer." Sorry about that. I mean, I go both ways, but that's besides the point. But like, still, like, why did you feel the need? Like, you could have just complimented me to compliment me.
Like, ma'am, I just need a pad.
You didn't have to validate my beauty by how many men were going to flock to me in the future.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Like, unpopular opinion, but I don't need somebody to tell me how beautiful I am to understand that I am.
yeah.
Speaking of beautiful, can we talk about like beauty standards
Ridiculous.
Absolutely.
for like women? Like
Yeah.
what?
Like,
Why do we have to look a certain way? to
they've
be considered?
definitely changed
Yeah.
as time has gone on.
They go
gone
back
on.
and forth, and I feel like that causes so much body dysmorphia.
Oh, 3,000%.
Because then 1 minute it's like blonde, skinny, tall. That's like the perfect one, and then it's curvy, beautiful, dark skin, everything, and then it just keeps going back and forth.
They wonder why women have so many insecurities. Like, jeez.
And then they get mad when people get plastic surgery, and it's like, y'all are the ones that started this whole trend.
Yeah. And it's just like, I feel like that's why you so often see so many women who like don't have like especially when it comes to like plastic surgery, like body proportions that suit them, because they feel the need to change themselves.
Yeah.
Or like when girls get, and not saying that getting spray tans or anything of that nature is bad, because do it, fuck it, we ball, you know. Oh, should I have said that? I'm gonna say it anyways. Like, do you, boo? But half the time it's like, I feel like it's not for them. It's because they're like, oh, I want to look good in my pictures when I post them on social media. And let's talk about social media impacts on women.
That's probably like one of the biggest impacts.
Literally, I think from such a young age, especially because our generation, like we grew up with social media. Like our
whole lives are online.
Yeah.
Which I feel can be obviously really terrible, but it also has been really great in an aspect of things.
Yeah.
Because it shines light on the stuff that we wanted to shine light on, but then it also like
makes it worse.
Yeah. It and like everything, it goes back and forth.
Yeah.
And I hate that there's no good median. Like, there's no middle ground that like suffices for everything. Yeah. You know?
I guess it kind of depends on who you are as a person and how you can handle people's opinions. Because I know for me, like this morning, I woke up to somebody making a fake account for me. Yeah. And it's apparently OnlyFans. Yeah. And so I was like, it honestly made me laugh because I don't really care about stuff like that. But I had so many people messaging me and I'm like, that's so funny. Like, people just do that?
Yeah. Yeah. Like, what is the reason?
Yeah.
What is the reason? It's so unprovoked.
It's so weird.
I mean, the reason is obviously money.
Yeah.
But like,
they also only followed males.
Yeah.
Because they knew their population. They sure did.
That's illegal. You're not allowed to like create an account of somebody who is not you. Do not do that. Forewarning to anyone listening. Don't do that.
You're lame.
Especially to women.
During Women's History Month.
Women's History Month. And I think what makes it worse is the fact that it's like it's for OnlyFans.
Yeah. And
Like,
it's funny, like, when you click the link, it literally is, like, so fake, too. It takes you to, like, some other website. So it's, like, obviously a scam.
Yeah.
I just think it's so funny that people fall for it.
Yeah. Especially, I'm not going to say that.
We're not going to talk about that.
So, third question I have. What are some of the insecurities / fears that you face being a woman on a day-to-day basis? Which I guess kind of plays off what we were just talking about in the previous question.
Going out into public alone.
Yep.
Yeah. I hate that we have to bring so much stuff for our own safety just to go out.
Like, I immediately get into my car and lock it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or I always have, like, pepper spray or a knife or something on me.
And you, like, see people selling those on, like, TikTok. They'll make, like, trends of people selling, like, protective keychains for women.
Yeah.
I'm like, that shouldn't be a thing. Like, that, we shouldn't have to have
Why?
that.
My mom literally bought me one when I started working at a hospital.
Really?
Yeah, she bought me one. And technically, I mean, it's like a federal hospital, so you can't really bring weapons into it. So, they ain't gotta know.
What they don't know won't hurt them. That is terrifying. Which I think that will also play into a later question that I will ask. And I'm positive all of us are going to have the same answer.
I'm pretty sure.
But I think for me, walking alone, going out, like, and my drinks, I can't have my drink not be with me.
Oh, yeah.
Getting drugged.
Yeah, roofied or whatever. Ridiculous.
I feel like just being around drunk men at places like that is scary because you don't know how they'll react whenever you reject them.
Yeah. I don't think I've had a negative experience when it comes to my time, but that literally is like, what is it? The 97% who have been like sexually assaulted and et cetera. Like, it's bound to happen, which sucks to say. It
does suck.
Like, I guess other insecurities for me personally would just be not feeling as good about yourself compared to the next person or like the next woman.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, always comparing even when you don't even realize it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And it's like, why am I competing with other women? Like, for what?
Yeah.
There's no reason.
Mm-mm.
Like, all of us are freaking gorgeous and wonderful.
Smart.
And so why do I feel the need to be like, oh, I wish I had that feature, or I wish I had that hair, or those eyelashes, or blah, 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 blah. Like,
Mhm.
Yeah.
like, we should all be supporting one another. And I think that's definitely something that has gotten better, but
Yeah.
it still exists.
Yeah, I feel
Definitely
like,
still exists.
especially like when we were in public school,
Oh,
outside of college, obviously, I feel like that was the biggest time period of comparison and getting used to all the opinions of people around you and trying to become your own individual person without looking like other people.
yeah. Like, still trying to be original while still trying to fit in.
Yeah.
Like, that is impossible.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know why we held ourselves to like such a standard. It's just ridiculous. I was about to say something. Oh no.
I'm sorry.
Oh no.
I ruined
it. The thought
Spoiled it.
is gone. Oh dang. What did you just say?
Just now?
Yep.
It's one ear out the other.
I'll tell you what. That's
I
what it
tell
got.
you
It
what.
really do be like that. No. It was
About going to public school and being original while still being fitting in.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
So it actually has nothing to do with that.
Oh, nice.
It's just
cool.
So another thing I wanted to talk about real quick is this is more prominent in heterosexual relationships. I mean, obviously it happens probably in like homosexual relationships too, but whenever the partner cheats with another like woman, getting mad at the woman and not your partner.
Yeah, like why are you getting mad at the woman when it was your man that cheated?
Yeah.
I mean, I totally understand getting mad at both parties, especially if that woman knew.
Yeah.
But that is completely your man's fault.
Yeah.
Like,
3000%.
hello?
And I feel like that's definitely gotten better, but like even then I still see so often on social media like, oh, I hate that girl. That girl's such a hoe. Da 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 da. Like, she tried to-
Homewrecker.
yeah, she tried to get with my man. Blah 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 blah. And then when it even got farther than trying to get with your man, like he did or she did get with your man, and you're like, oh, I hate that girl. Let's talk, babes. What you mean? What you
They're
mean?
in Women's History Month.
This is how you go act.
Come on.
That's ridiculous.
We hate men around here.
Period. Okay. Let's talk about that real quick. Do you know the difference between misandry and misogyny? Do you know what misandry is?
I don't even think I heard of that, to be honest.
Misandry
Mm-hmm.
is like the equivalent of misogyny. So it's like hating men. Like,
Period.
yeah. So oftentimes when it comes to feminism, I did like a whole thing when I was in speech debate on this like topic.
Hell yeah.
But when it comes to like feminism is often taken so far as to like completely hating men, which, you know, valid. They be annoying. But because of that,
We're getting
feminism,
so far away from.
what the original goal is.
Yeah.
And like wanting to be equal instead of just being like, men are trash. Da, da, da. Duh, they are. But at the same time, like, besties, you're taking it too far.
Yeah.
Like,
It's like women were just being clowned for everything that they're doing, and now you're doing it to men, and now you're just kind of making it
you're
worse.
like, you've completely missed the whole point.
just flew right over your head.
Yeah. And that really sucks.
And while obviously we play into that,
Oh, yeah, all the time. All the
I
time.
mean,
make
we be
jokes.
down bad.
Yeah.
We're down bad.
Anyways.
We're down bad right now.
Anyways. We're not going to talk about it.
During Women's History Month, we're
During
going to talk
Women's-
about being down bad.
Nope, not at all. Never. Hey, you're not going to catch me slipping. Anyways.
After the podcast.
After the podcast, you can. So my fourth question is, what would current you tell your younger self? And you can pick any age that you want.
I don't have like a specific age, more just public school time. It's mainly just you're stronger than you think, and what people think about you literally does not matter.
Yeah.
At this age, I've stopped caring what other people think, and I feel like my mom did a really good job at raising me to not care about what people think. But obviously, when you're in public school, a lot of life is caring what people think. So if I did a little bit less of that, I would have dealt with a lot less terrible people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting. For me, it's probably like it's okay to say no. Like,
Oh.
Yes.
you are allowed to do stuff for yourself. You don't have to keep making everybody else around you happy.
Yes.
And lose your own, because that was a very
Snap.
big problem. I was such a people pleaser.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, it's okay
Yeah.
to make yourself happy first before you make others happy.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Oh my God, that's
That's
so
a good one.
So good.
Mhm.
I'm not gonna share mine because I wanted you guys to answer. I wanted that input. You know.
So we don't get to know about you?
Nope.
Wow.
Okay.
0 out of 10
Jeez.
stars.
Women's History Month.
You're making other women answer for you.
I'm using my resources.
Women!
Oh God, that's so bad.
Exactly, so spill it.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Spill the beans.
I guess younger me. My first age that I go to is probably like 12 or 13. Because I feel like that was, what was that, 7th grade? 8th grade?
Yes.
7th grade.
7th, 8th.
The worst year. One of the worst years of my whole entire life.
Because you didn't meet me yet.
Yeah, facts, no printer.
Period.
But 7th grade was just really hard. I feel like that was literally when like personal things were going on, and I was trying to be the mom of my family, and like trying to support everybody else when everything was falling apart. And like just school and like trying to take care of all of that. And I feel like I would have told myself to just like breathe and like
Be a kid.
be a kid.
Yeah.
Be a kid.
Yeah.
Like,
Because that's really sad to think about.
you didn't have to grow up that fast.
Yeah.
But I did. But yeah, I feel like I was way too young to be dealing with half the things I dealt with. And so I really wish I could have just hug my younger self and be like, be a kid. Like,
Little Bean needs a hug.
little beanie
Little
baby,
beanie.
bro.
Beanie baby bro needs a hug.
Throw some alliteration in there for you. Is that alliteration? I think it's alliteration.
Yes.
With the first
Yes.
letter.
Yeah. Beanie baby bro.
Beanie baby bro.
Okay. So yeah, I think that's what I would say.
Don't bring me back to English class.
Girl.
I don't English.
English too hard.
Literally, the amount of times I send either one of these girls like a typo on an hourly basis.
Both of us, really. And we just make fun of each other for
And
it.
then we just like say it's like hello, and we say like, what is it? Hello?
Hello?
With
Hello?
like,
Hello?
and we're like, okay, it's fine. Moving on. You don't get to shame women during Women's History Month or ever. Let's talk about that.
You women
Ever.
shamers.
Ever. Women make no mistakes.
We are perfect.
You're not
in
allowed to
every
point out
way.
a single mistake of a woman in your entire life. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
Guillotine. Violence.
It's the only answer. Number 5. What is one important piece of advice that you have for women? Young, old, same age, etc.
Kind of the same answer as before. Is just stop caring what people think.
Yeah.
Which is way easier said than done.
Right.
Just be you.
Be you.
Yeah.
Do things for you. Don't do things for other people.
Yeah.
And I feel like that also kind of plays into like, I guess the newer stereotypes of women, like, oh, you have to be independent. You have to be working. You have to be making this money. Which obviously back then it was flipped. It was like, oh, be the at-home wife,
Yeah.
feed your kids.
And now
blah,
they're
blah,
like, an at-home mom? That's
Yeah.
all you do?
So I'm just like,
Right.
you know what? If you are not that or the other, like, just do you.
It's okay.
It's okay.
Just be you, bestie.
We're all just trying to make it to the end of the week.
literally
No, really, to the end of the day.
trying to make it to tomorrow. Okay.
Trying to make it to the next hour.
I feel like I would probably say embrace your own qualities or embrace your own traits and uniqueness.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, at the end of the day, none of us are really super unique because we all have our personalities from everything that we love, whether that's like other people or things.
Trauma.
That's for a different episode. Kenzie.
Sorry. Bring me back to that one.
I mean,
I
but
got
it's
good
true.
stuff.
It's true. Like all of those things make us who we are, and I feel like once we stop trying to like either hide those things that we love or like the things that have like quote unquote like negatively impacted us and made us who we are, like then we can truly be like ourselves, you know? And you'll find people who will like match you and like be the same with you. Does that make sense?
Period. Being you, tell them.
Yeah, get into it.
Get into it.
I'm getting a spam risk call right now. During Women's History Month? That's crazy.
Spam calls. Come on.
Well, the next question is, what is one important piece of advice you have for men? Shut the fuck up.
Just close your mouth and stop talking. On like a more serious note, like catcalling does nothing except make us hate you.
Yeah.
Remember when we were barked at?
Yes. Oh my
Dog
gosh.
calling.
We were literally driving out of the mall in the Jeep.
And it was a big truck.
Yeah.
And they
of
just
course it was.
started barking.
Just hooting and hollering.
That wasn't the only time I've been barked at.
Yeah. That's ridiculous.
Yeah. Like the other time was in high school walking with a friend to lunch, and it was also a truck.
Let's talk about that.
During Women's History Month, do not drive a truck around me. No trucks.
No trust. Angel?
I don't know, I have a lot. I'm trying to choose one.
You're not a fact.
Say them all.
Just
say
say
'em
it
all.
if you really want to.
For real. Validate our feelings.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Because I feel like men so often invalidate our feelings. They're just like, oh, you're just being emotional.
Why are you gaslighting me? No gaslighting.
Oh, I thought you were talking to Tim. You looked right at him. I was like, whoa, what did Tim do to you?
For context, Tim is sitting across the room and Chris is on his Switch. Chris is actually invalidating all of us right now by not paying attention to a
By
single word.
ignoring us during Women's History Month?
But no, not at Tim, obviously. But like in general, like,
Yeah.
why?
Yeah.
That is such a huge
It's
thing.
so annoying.
And I'm so glad that like it's been recognized. Like, why are you doing that? Like, why are you turning?
Especially if I tell you a problem that I'm facing that I want us to fix and you keep doing it, automatic block.
Or you turn it into an argument.
Yeah.
And I'm just like,
Yes.
I'm telling you this because I care.
Yeah.
I'm not doing this.
And then they gaslight you into being like, but I never did that. Or it's not like that.
Yeah.
Wrong.
Wrong.
Stop it.
I think.
Every time it ends up being what we think.
Oh, 3,000%.
Every time.
Every single time.
I think my thing would be for men is to not. How do I word this? No, absolutely. Embrace your emotions.
Yes.
Like,
Please.
please let yourself feel things.
Please.
Please. Like, oh my gosh. The more that you ignore what you're feeling, the worse it gets.
Just looking like a soulless human is not attractive.
Oh, absolutely
Because you know how like men will be like, oh, we can't read women's minds, blah, 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 blah. But like it's the same the other way. Like I can't read your mind. I don't know
Absolutely.
how you're
Yes.
feeling. So how am I supposed to react? And then they get mad if we react the wrong way.
Yeah.
Like, why are you mad? Because you're literally not speaking to me.
Yeah.
You don't use your words.
I'm trying to fix this problem and you're just ignoring me.
It's just atrocious. Like, just please get help.
Go to therapy. Please.
Everybody should go to therapy.
Yeah, you know?
There is nothing wrong with
The world would
therapy.
be a better place if everybody went to therapy.
I just wish the world wasn't so traumatizing that we would need therapy.
Also fast.
That's also. Let's talk about that for a moment.
I don't think they're ready for that.
No, I don't.
Let's save that for the trauma episode.
That one will be coming to you soon.
I'll be back later.
Okay. So, this one, which I'm sure we will probably have the same answer. Last but certainly not least, Jess asked, if one day all the men disappeared from the earth, what is the thing you would most want to do?
Walk outside at night. Yep. Literally just that. I want to be able to look at the
wanna
stars
walk.
without getting attacked or
Go
just
to a
taken.
gas station without always trying to look over my shoulder.
Yeah. Literally just walk to my car at night after
Night.
work and not have to continuously look around.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I see. I told you. I knew we were all going to have the same answer. Freaking knew it. What does that say?
Men bad.
Man, bad at nighttime. Where's Batman? Vengeance.
It's just like, it's so bad. Like you're just going on with your day, and just like, some
Yeah.
men will always like either be staring at you, come up to you, follow you, and you're just like, I'm uncomfy, please leave me alone.
Yeah.
And like sometimes you'll even approach them and tell them that, and they will still.
And they get mad at you.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm sorry.
You're the
but
one making
please
me
stop.
uncomfortable.
Right?
Yeah.
Thankfully, I've never had like a man say anything to me at a gas station. I've been really worried about that. So like, I don't get gas at night at all, ever.
I have a lack of self-preservation, so I get gas at night.
Same.
Well, I got gas the other night. Oh, for the first time.
Dang.
It was peaceful. Actually, there was
I
like
usually
no one
try
there.
to go. My what is it? Philosophy ? I will park right in front of the door.
Mm.
The pumps that you can see through the cashier, you know, usually towards the front, and I will park away from other people if at all possible. So that's
Yeah.
usually what I do, which sucks because I wish I didn't have to do that
Just pull up to a gas pump
and just pump it. Yep. Mm-hmm. So, I'm trying to think of something else that I would like to do if men were not around. Probably walk in a forest.
I mean, you could probably do that.
No, I feel like there's always gonna.
Men, just be there.
Yeah, you know the what are they called?
Tarzan,
Not like Tarzan, but
he
like
ain't gonna get you.
there's like maybe
Ooh.
there's like the what is the word? There's like people who live in like national parks,
Oh,
and like that's terrifying. I mean, there could also obviously be women.
I just don't want to get lost.
Yeah, true. No, I think that's it. That's
Literally
being
just- yeah.
existing at nighttime
Yeah,
outside.
or just being able to. Well, this is probably just my anxiety, but being able to just go anywhere alone,
Yeah.
like at all,
Ever.
ever. Like going to a
Same.
grocery store and not worrying about a man trying to talk to me. And I'm like, I'm just trying to get some
That has
yogurt.
happened to me like 3 times.
Really?
Yeah. I
Oh my
remember
God.
I was just like walking into HEB and I saw this guy looking at me and I was just like, I'm just my own business, keep doing my shopping.
Mhm.
And he actually like followed me to my car and tried to ask for my number.
Dude.
And I was like, no.
the
Absolutely
amount of times
not.
I have like been in a grocery store and I'm like super hyper aware of my surroundings, and you can tell when somebody's following you.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I've had
They
it
make
happen.
it pretty obvious.
Always. And I'm just like, stop. Or like when I'm leaving the club or whatever, I'll be doing it.
The club.
And I have to ask one of my male friends to walk me to my car because
Yeah.
I see a man who's walking the same direction as my car. And I'm like, what if he suddenly turns around and decides to stab-o me and kill me? And
Yeah. I remember I had this one experience with my friend. We were walking around the mall, and this was when we went into the mall, it was daytime, but when we left, it was around like the evening. And we saw these group of guys like in the mall, and they had like looked at us as we walked by, and we're just like, what the hell are you looking at? Like,
Yeah.
whatever. But we continued on. And then we were leaving, and then we kind of like heard people talking behind us, and we turned around and we noticed it was the group of guys.
yeah.
And we're just like, okay, maybe we're just like leaving at the same time. And so we
Right.
go to my car, and then we go in the car, and then they actually like swarm our car.
No.
Uh-uh.
And like 2 of the guys are like knocking on our window. We just want to get your number. You're really cute. blah, blah,
Absolutely
blah, blah.
not.
But like their other friends were like in front of the car. I'm like, y'all are literally like,
Y'all finna get run
surrounding us.
over. Get out the way.
Oh my God.
It was so terrifying.
That's scary.
It is terrifying.
I'm just
Ugh.
I like to go grocery shopping with my mom because she's like my guard dog.
Yeah.
Let me explain. I can't even wear shorts without people looking at me, and my mom just like stares into their soul and they get scared,
Yeah. We love Jennifer.
as they should.
Mm-hmm.
She's scary.
As someone who's not super close with my mother, I have not had that privilege. So I do have to do things on my own, and that sucks. Like going to the grocery store. I go to the grocery store so frequently on my own, but usually I go middle of the day. So it's not too terrible.
Yeah, it's not bad.
But I wanted to say pretty privileged, but that's not exactly a privilege to have people constantly harassing you
Oh,
with
yeah.
with their eyeballs.
That's also why I've really enjoyed masks.
Yes.
Especially, okay, so I worked at the VA, obviously, if I said federal hospital. Anyways, it's all old men. And even with my mask on, they would say, like, oh my God, I'm so glad I have the prettiest nurse. And I'm like, I'm not even your nurse, man. I'm here wiping your butt.
You really gonna flirt with me right now? In this
Your
environment?
butthole is in my eye view, and you're flirting with me. And that is why I'm a nurse in labor and delivery now.
When men tell you to smile more.
Oh!
Absolutely not.
Every time I tell them, I say, give me a reason to smile and maybe we'll talk. Maybe. And they never do. They never do.
You're
They're
so
like,
pretty.
oh,
You should smile. You'll be even prettier. And I'm just
It's like, that's why I'm not smiling. I want to be
I'm just
ugly.
about to start barking. I'm just going to start barking.
I'm having a bad day. Leave me alone.
Where I work, I'm a bartender. I love my job. I do. I really enjoy it. But sometimes I am afraid of wearing certain clothing in front of some men. I wore baggy pants and a large shirt and still managed to get hit on. Like, not even just hit on, harassed kind of. And I was like, dude, stop.
It just really goes to show it doesn't matter what we wear.
Yeah. It just,
But yet they always say it's because of what we're wearing.
right. Oh, what were you wearing?
Mm.
A onesie, bitch. What do you want from me? It's ridiculous. But that concludes all of my questions for you guys. Thank you. Do you guys have any questions for me? Do you have any questions for people who are listening? Do you have any last thoughts or comments?
Although being a woman nowadays is still tough, I wouldn't want it any other way.
Yeah.
I am proud to be a woman, but even if you don't identify as a woman, I am proud of you.
Yes. Yeah.
Snaps.
Other than men.
ASMR. Ben. Angel, anything else?
Like I said earlier, just keep being you. That's all you can really do nowadays.
Yes, I agree. I guess the last thing that I would like to say is that I am extremely thankful that both of you are wonderful, strong, amazing women in my life, and I look up to you every single day.
Ditto.
And I would D-word without both of you. Yep.
Bro, don't make me cry. I'm on a podcast.
And this also goes to every other woman that I know in my life. You make severe impacts every single day, and I'm so thankful for you. Literally,
You are valid.
You are valid. You are beautiful.
You are strong.
Let's hold on. You are smart. You are wonderful. You are strong. And then lastly, you are beautiful, because I feel like beauty does not determine anything about you. Because obviously we all are beautiful in our own ways. And I feel like every single trait that you have ahead of that, it makes you even better.
Yeah.
Period.
Thank you guys for listening. I hope this this episode was enlightening, and that you continue to listen in and listen to our further episodes. And yes, thank you, Kenzie and Angel. Thank you.
Yeah, you go, Gun Coco.
You go get Coco. Okay. We will now be ending.
Welcome back to the Always More podcast, starring your favorite host and mine, Tim Lichty. I want you guys to know how much I love Tim, because in the behind the scenes, I'm doing nothing but pissing him off because it's fun to me. But I genuinely do love you, Tim.
Thank you.
I'm sorry for giving you
Thank
such a hard time.
It's all good.
Not even I love you.
I probably
back.
deserved
Just
it.
Thank you.
That's fine. He could have done finger guns. That would have been even worse. It's like, I love you. That's so much worse than thank you. All right. Well, that was a lovely interview.
Yes.
Hilarious. Also sad. But
It was
it's
wonderful.
the reality that women face.
Yeah.
Like
Absolutely.
it's hard being a woman out here, man. Like, I don't know that from firsthand experience, but from talking to women, like, all you got
Yeah.
to do is talk to one for like 10 seconds without trying to get in her pants, and you'll know.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, which is obviously why I haven't learned anything from my wife, because I'm always trying to get in her pants.
Wow.
But
Your Women's History.
during every month, let me tell you, Black History Month, top tier.
Oh. No.
Look.
We had a text
As a black
message
man-
earlier.
As a black man in an interracial relationship, nothing says Black History Month more.
Stop talking. Stop.
I'm
We're
sorry.
gonna have to
I'm
cut
done.
this whole
I'm-
thing.
I'm done. I'm
We
sorry.
have to
I'm
cut
sorry.
it.
Oh, I'm so sorry about that, guys. My apologies, sincerely and truly. No,
You
it,
need
it
to
was,
apologize to your wife, dude.
Oh, I'll apologize. Nope. Sorry. Nope. Sorry. I can't help myself. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, so back to this. Back to our podcast. Again, it's definitely an impactful thing to
Yeah.
be able to listen to the experience of women that we obviously don't have.
Right.
Being able to understand where they're coming from and get some new perspective, because that's what we're all about here. is
Absolutely.
New perspectives, learning new things, deeper understanding.
That's right.
All of that.
Amen, brother.
So, getting back to our typical podcast stuff, though, we have a lot of fan questions. I feel like that's what's the song? Doom 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 doom.
What is that song? Dude.
I told him, don't you ever come around
Is that
here.
Jackson?
Don't wanna
Yeah.
see your face, you better disappear.
Yeah.
Why
Oh,
can't
beat
I-
it.
Yeah.
Beat
The fire's in the eyes and the words are very clear, so beat it. Just beat it.
I was like, I literally can't think of the song
Nice.
title to
That's
save
good.
my
Nice.
life right now.
I worked on it. But we have a lot of fan questions,
Lot of
man.
'em.
So we're gonna do this kind of like a rapid fire speed round. We're gonna
Finger guns.
now you do the finger guns. So we're gonna answer all of the questions that we got recently, and not even all of them. I think we had some extras
Yeah.
that we had to for time.
We'll answer them though.
We'll
Don't,
get to 'em
Don't you
eventually.
fret. We'll get there.
We are here to answer your questions.
That is exactly what we do. We answer all of your questions. Whether we give you good answers or not is irrelevant.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Whether it's the right answer, nobody even knows. But we will answer your questions with confidence.
With
Con
something.
gusto. So let's start with our first one. This one comes from Aaron. And did he use our voicemail or did he?
No.
He texted this one.
Yeah.
He sent this one through our
He
text.
was lazy this time. Aaron,
That's
come on,
fine.
bro.
We need you to use our voicemail. Otherwise, Tim paid for it for no reason. Was it something you paid for? I don't even know. It was free, right?
Yeah, it was free.
Yeah, we set up a free voicemail.
I'm being honest. It was free.
That's fine.
Nice.
It cost my time.
Well,
And time
Time is money.
So yeah,
Yeah.
no, Tim paid for it with his life.
His
Just
life.
a little part of it, but with his life. So Aaron asked if you could change one person's name in history, what would it be to? For example, he said he would change Amelia Earhart to Amelia Earhart. That's different spelling, but it's still Earhart.
That is
She was a pilot.
1,000% absolutely how I grew up thinking of it. Like,
No, for
Really?
real.
Yes.
Until he sent that question, I did not know that it was not
public
that way.
education system
And
absolutely
what's
failed
crazy
us.
is Ellie's favorite book is the Alphabet of Awesome. It's just
We have the
all
same
the
thing.
women
Yeah.
in history, like and current events now that have like A is for Amelia Earhart and B is for Beyonce, all that stuff.
Yeah.
So Amelia Earhart, it just never like I read over it and just assume that AA is her initials, not AE.
Yeah.
I'm going to say something. As a woman, I know the correct spelling, but as men, you did not know the correct spelling. So what does that say?
That we were not taught correctly because she's a woman in history and nobody cared to teach us that.
Yeah.
But now I know,
Good job.
Absolutely.
and I
That's all
will
that
be
matters.
moving forward with that knowledge.
Yeah.
So
Is that also yours, I guess?
I would definitely change that one. I think though, one that I would change would be Adolf Hitler, and I would change his name to Dick Dickerson because I think that's funny. Nobody wants to emulate Dick Dickerson, so there'd be a lot less Nazis. Being an American named Dick Dickerson, he wouldn't have rose to power because his whole thing was like, make Germany great again. And I chose those words on purpose.
Oh.
But nobody would have followed him because they'd have been like, who is this guy?
Dickerson?
Dick Dickerson. I'm not following that guy. I would have changed his name.
Yeah.
Would have saved a lot of lives.
I think mine
Also, that applies to Stalin
Oh.
as well. Joseph Stalin. Dick Dickerson.
Dick
The
Dickerson.
first.
The
And then
first.
Hitler can be Dick Dickerson the second, or whatever order it was.
Just change the
That's
accents. That's all I got to do.
right. Yeah. You're both named Dick. Is this the same guy? Is he just
mean-
trying in different countries to be a dictator?
Oh. That was good.
Yeah.
Dictator. You get it? Dictator.
All right, hold on. I want to make sure I put in the notes to make this episode with an E. We are definitely going crazy today.
Oh, explicit.
Oh.
I just said Dick Dickerson.
It wasn't
a
just
name.
that. I'm not mad. It's just I got to make sure I write that down because
Are you
this.
sure you're not mad at me?
No, I'm never mad at you. I take that back.
No,
I
I
am
was
mad
gonna
at
say
you.
that is not the truth. You were always mad at me,
That's not true.
but it's more like a friendship mad. Like
Well, yeah.
Are you guys flirting right now? Right in front of my
Always.
twisted tea? It's crazy.
in front of my twisted tea.
Damn.
Hi, the T.
Not the tea.
All right, we have. For me, Abraham Lincoln, vampire hunter, 1,000%.
What?
Yeah, you don't know he was a vampire hunter?
No?
There's a whole documentary about that.
Yeah.
we can show you.
Oh.
Lincoln was
I have it
a
up there.
a
Hold
vampire.
on.
Yeah. No, well, it'd be up in the A's because Tim has everything incredibly alphabetized.
Yeah.
I don't see it.
Or maybe I don't have. Maybe it's on digital.
You definitely have it on digital. Yeah, it's digital.
Hmm.
Abraham Lincoln, vampire hunter.
Yeah.
True
Nice.
story.
Mine would be Morgan Freeman. I'd change it to Friedman. My brain is like, Morgan Friedman.
Just so you're
Huh.
never wrong again. Fair enough.
Valid.
Well, you know what? During Women's History Month, his name is Morgan Friedman.
Thank you.
You've got the rest of the month. Go crazy.
Oh my God, that's only half a month.
Start
It's
storming the
ridiculous.
internet with it.
Guys, hear me out.
Everyone must know.
I have some news.
He's going to be so confused. My name does not have a D in it. It does not,
or
sir.
does it?
It does now.
He's like, oh.
All
Next
right.
one.
Well, I can't see the next one. My computer died.
Oh, okay, heard.
That's why I had it plugged in.
Next question is, Lord, we're going to be talking about for a
there it
minute.
is.
Tiara asked, are there more doors or wheels in the
Okay,
world?
now listen to me right now before Chris, you say anything. Okay? just hear me out, okay? If we are talking about wheels that are meant for transportation,
Functional wheels.
functional wheels that are meant for transportation, like wheels on a bus, bicycles, whatever, versus doors that are meant for opening and closing, whether closets, cabinets,
So only functional doors.
yes, then I think it's a close race. However, since we have discussed this the other day, I was team doors. I will admit, I was.
Tim, no.
Did-
Tim, no.
Join
However-
the dark side.
Tim.
However, after observing many of things, I don't count engine wheels or like pistons and stuff.
You should.
But
They're wheels.
but even despite that, just looking at like Amazon and like the little wheels they use to transport heavy machinery and things on.
the wheels on conveyor belts.
Yeah.
The
I'm about to
wheels
cry.
inside of pulley
I feel
systems.
the tears.
Harley, I was on your side,
I
but
feel them.
I'm
but
sorry.
logic has seeped into Tim's
During
mind.
Women's History Month. Oh my God.
Yep.
Sorry.
Women's History Month has nothing to do with wheels versus doors.
It absolutely does.
Nope.
There's a W in wheels.
Not anymore.
It's women.
So then you should be on the wheels team.
No. Yeah, dude.
Harley is a team door.
Yeah.
There's
I was
more
too, but-
doors.
Same team, same side.
Look. My
Kenzie's on my
logic
side.
was hotels and like cruise ships and just buildings in general. That was my. And again, like I said, if it's just purely strictly wheels for transportation versus doors that are like in buildings and stuff, I think it's very close. However, considering that there's more wheels that are meant for other things other than transportation, then I'm gonna have to give it to wheels.
I'm going to go ahead and just throw this out there that aside from just wheels for transportation, I am also including wheels on like toy cars, Hot Wheels, the wheels inside of pulley systems for elevators. Your ceiling fan has a wheel inside of it right now that's causing it to spin. There's wheels inside your phone in the little motors and the CPU processors on computers. There's wheels everywhere.
There's doors everywhere.
How many though?
A fuck ton.
Nah. Well, there's a fuckload of wheels. So there you go.
No.
Yeah.
Like, do windows?
Windows are not doors. They are windows.
I
They open.
I had that thought
They're
too.
not doors.
But it doesn't. That's anything that opens. Remember that was our text. That was our whole text message.
What defines
and,
a
And that's
door?
why I did.
And you know what? By that logic, doors with windows are less door. They count as like Tim's door right there. That counts as like
no.
0.75 doors.
A hinged, sliding, or revolving barrier at the entrance to a building, room, or vehicle in the framework of a cupboard.
The window,
or in the framework of a cupboard.
A window is not an entrance.
Yeah, it absolutely is to burglars.
Who are breaking the law.
We're not concerned
Therefore,
with the law.
it's not a legal entrance.
We're not concerned with the law.
Okay, so by that logic, every wall is also a door if you hit it hard enough.
Yeah, could be.
Okay,
Doors.
So then every DVD is a wheel if you put a pencil in it and roll it down a hill.
See, that was my logic the other day. It's like you can't qualify these random things as like a wheel or a door if it's not exactly for its purpose.
When I do my job as a security professional, I say, how many entry points do we have? And everybody always says 3 because it's a front door, a back door, and a garage door. And then I say, and how many windows? They're separate. We have 3 doors, 2 windows. Even in the technology of my job, like we have separate sensors for doors than we do windows. They're door sensors and window sensors. Windows are not doors. No more locked doors. Gracias. And you're too young for that reference.
No, I absolutely know what that is.
Do you?
Fucker. Anyways.
What is it then?
It's from...
Oh, calling her out.
Yeah, I'm calling her out.
I know it.
You're going to look it
'Cause I
up
used
so
to
you
say
don't know
You
it.
can't Google it.
I do.
It doesn't count if you Google
It
it.
does.
It's not head. It's not canon.
From freaking Friday, you fathead. Next Friday.
All right. Wheels win, I think.
Wheels.
No. Doors.
Thank you.
Doors.
Look, you can argue for doors all you want. It's okay to be wrong.
Indoors.
Flashback to SpongeBob. Wow.
Door.
That was beautiful.
Are we talking about metaphorical doors too?
No, God, no. Because then, I mean, well, even metaphorically, wheels, like the wheels of your imagination are turning.
Oh, brother. Okay, next question. I'm tired of this, Grandpa.
That's too damn
bad. All right. So the next question comes from my wife's best friend, Kira.
Oh, she has a best friend named Kira?
You know what? Yes. Yes, she does. I'm not playing into your argument with her. That's between y'all. Kira asked, if you had to change one actor or actress from your favorite movie, who would it be and why?
Oh.
I think, so first off, the movie I would choose would be Boondock Saints. It's one of my top 5 favorite movies. It's always on a rotation, though, so I can never pick a favorite. But Boondock Saints. I would probably change Rocco. His name is actually David Della Rocco. But I would change him for probably any black actor, just because I feel like that movie needs more color.
Okay.
I think it'd be hilarious with like Kevin Hart or something, because Rocco's the comedic relief, but he's also like their friend who helps them out on their campaign to kill all the bad guys in Boston. I just think like a black person would be great.
Yeah.
Valid.
Can't disagree with that.
I don't think I have one. 'Cause I'm really trying to think.
Yeah, there's so many. Like there's so many movies for like that reason, and even like with like I actually enjoyed like Ocean's 8. Like that was a great film where it was like a change of the casting, because like Ocean's 11, 12, and 13 was like all male casting, and so I enjoyed 8 because it all female casting. It was
Flipped
great.
it.
So it just kind of like more of that. I want to see more diversity. I want to see more inclusion, and so
Okay. But your favorite movie? What's your favorite movie?
Interstellar.
So who would you change in
You
Interstellar?
cannot change Matthew McConaughey.
Oh, absolutely not. He's a gem.
I'm
Or
in
Matt
love with
Damon, because, you know, you have to have surprise Matt Damon.
Oh yeah. Surprise Matt Damon.
It's like my favorite trope.
I know.
And you can't change Anne Hathaway because she is...
Okay, you're like
goddess
it's like
of
half
the
the
stage.
cast here.
You can change.
You can't change Michael Caine.
Mine is The Sandlot.
Ooh.
So like, but
They're
like,
all child actors.
yeah. So I'm like, you can't change Benny. That's not gonna happen. You can't change
Benny the
Squints.
Jet. Oh.
You can't change Squints.
I know. So there's a character in Interstellar. I can't even remember his name because I just don't like him. But he's like one of the dudes on there, and he I think he's like the first one to die. But I would totally put Sebastian Stan in that role.
Because he dies?
No, just because he's a good actor, and he would like to make me like him more.
Oh, okay.
And so
He would bring some enjoyment to the death.
yes,
Damn.
Okay.
Oh my God.
All right.
That's one way to put that.
So back to Sandlot then.
Oh, hold on. I know it.
What if you changed the beast?
No. To what?
Chihuahua.
Yeah. Whichever dog was in Beverly Hills Chihuahua or Legally Blonde 2.
It's like George Lopez voicing it.
Oh my God.
No
that'd be
way. I feel like, okay. So hear me out. If I could change, what is his name? The twins.
Oh,
I don't know who I would change them to, but I'd change the twins.
I don't remember the names,
great.
but
Would you keep
Tommy
them
and Timmy.
twins? Or would you just
I
change
would keep
them to
them to-
random people?
I would keep them as twins. Maybe put the twins from The Shining in there, add some
Ooh.
spice.
jeez.
Oh. Still in the Victorian dresses.
You just changed the whole genre of the movie.
They're like standing
that
on
was
the.
part 2 of the question. What if you had to change a plot point?
Oh, there you
So
go.
obviously you're making Sandlot a horror film now.
Oh snap!
Interstellar, if you had to change a plot point.
If I had to change a plot point, that movie hinges on like the whole premise of Matthew McConaughey's character saving his daughter. Like, I don't think he can.
What if he just didn't have a kid?
Oh, that's
He
a
was
good
doing
point.
it for humanity instead.
But then it wouldn't have worked.
It wouldn't have been as emotional or as
No,
powerful.
it wouldn't
right?
have worked.
What if it wasn't dimensional time travel? What if it was just like it all happened within a few months, so he actually made it back in time instead?
Or
Well,
what if it was like his best friend instead of like?
Ooh, that
So
would
it's
be
still like
good.
a personal
I like
thing.
that.
Or it was his wife.
No,
Instead of
no,
dying-
too cliche.
Instead of dying, when he got to the far planet, she was like, "Hey, secretly I've been here this whole time."
No, I feel like
didn't
that's
That's true.
know.
cliche.
That is a too, and that's Christopher Nolan's cliche thing to do too. So I agree. I think it would be best friend would be a different it would be a different angle to it. I could see that working. All right,
I'm down for that.
I dig.
Sandlot.
Boondock Saints, I would make the cat scene much more pivotal to the movie.
I've never seen the movie, so I can't comment.
They accidentally kill a cat.
Oh my
And
god!
it's a funny scene for like 5 minutes and then they never mention again. I
Yeah.
would bring that up all the time. Like throughout the whole movie and the series as they make more movies because they have part 2, part 3's coming out soon.
Oh, I forgot
So
about
they
that.
say.
Do you think that'd really be that like?
That's why I would make it that important.
Mm-hmm.
I love a good callback.
That makes
Yeah.
sense. So yours would be more comedic? Question mark.
Yeah, it'd be played for comedy for sure.
Mine would be a horror film.
Mine would be a bromance.
Romance.
Perfect. I love that.
Isn't it a great song?
Such a great song. I love it.
Yes.
I
All right.
know that.
Next question comes from Fernando. That's fun to say.
I know. I know.
Fernando.
Are you flirting right now?
Always. Dark Knight or the Batman?
I recently, like the other night, listened to a podcast talking about it was their top 5 Batman films. And it's really hard for me because I feel like I really enjoyed the character arcs better in the Batman other than Heath Ledger. But it's like that pros and cons list. Like Heath Ledger's weight is so heavy in that pros list.
Right.
It's hard to measure that for me. I think I enjoyed the Batman more. Because I did rewatch The Dark Knight recently. I think I enjoyed the Batman more. It could be just recency bias though. So I think I'm edging the Batman, but I don't know.
So
It's really hard.
I'm with you.
I am still on the haven't been to a theater to see the Batman train.
Yeah.
I hate being on this train. I want to get off. So I'm going to have to say The Dark Knight because I haven't seen the Batman. But I
It's
have heard
so
a
good.
lot of really good things about
Yeah,
the
it's
Batman,
great.
especially if you grew up watching the animated series,
Mm-hmm.
which I did. That is like a real nice live action version of that version of Batman.
Right.
And that's my favorite version of Batman. So I'm probably going to like the Batman more. But as you said, Heath Ledger's just such a heavy weight on Dark Knight. Like you can't
Yeah.
beat it.
I've just seen such good reviews on Robert Pattinson's
Oh yeah.
Batman.
Yeah.
And how they're like, I love how this man is this depressed little being who's afraid of sunlight, and they're like, freaking phenomenal movie. Like, that's
Batman
so
and
good.
Twilight are the same thing.
You see
Just
that?
put
See
that,
that?
like blue filter over it.
Yeah.
There you go.
You see that meme out there, or it's like actual picture where this movie theater put on their sign and it says like, Robert Pattinson is a horrible vampire. It took him like 20 years to turn
Yes!
into a bat.
I haven't seen that, but that's funny.
It's so good.
All right, next question comes from Malik. Was the dress black and blue or white and gold?
Black and blue.
Yeah, black and blue.
Yeah, it was actually black and blue. Yeah,
Like literally. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's how I saw it too.
There was only one time I ever saw the dress as white and gold. And then I went back to the same post and it was black and blue. And I will never recover.
It was like a black and blue dress that somebody put like 3 sepia filters over to make it look like white and gold. And they're like, sepia. And now again. And one more time. And then
There
an
it is.
outdoor, what do you call them? Filter. An outdoor filter just to spice things up.
Spice things up.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with that, black and blue.
Yep.
So that one didn't take long.
Nope.
And our final question comes from Michael. Also, since there is a Hamburglar, and this goes back to our last podcast.
Yeah.
Since there is a Hamburglar, does that mean that a ham robber exists? Like the more violent and aggressive version of Hamburglar?
I said, look, when I was, because this was like a conversation that we were having, and I was like, dude, that sounds reasonable. If anything, there's a variant out there who's like, dominating the world, and so
yeah, it's
absolutely.
a multiverse.
Absolutely,
Dude, the Ronald McDonald multiverse.
How do you think the Burger King became the Burger King?
Oh, snap.
He was robbing people. He robbed all the right people at
There
the
you
right
go.
times. Either that or Grimace. It was a robbery gone wrong, and now we have Grimace.
Can you imagine? Like, imagine a more violent and aggressive version of the Hamburglar.
Oh yeah, it's easy.
Like, oh
yeah.
my
Like,
God.
hey, I'm going to take your burger. No, you're not. Are you sure? I will absolutely take your burger, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Like, that's
Sorry. Just take it. Like, just imagine. Do you think they look the same? Like,
Oh no,
a ham robber?
no, it would be like different variants of like Jokers, like just slightly different,
Yeah, like, yeah,
deeper makeup or
the
something.
Hamburglar is pretty kitschy, and you know, he's kind of comedic relief, but the ham robber, man,
No,
they give
he-
you nightmares.
Yeah.
They give
So
you
I had to
nightmares.
look him up to give some context.
Oh, I forgot he wears a mask.
He's
Kinda.
giving like what's his name?
It's
Like Robin.
Robin, yeah.
Yeah.
No,
the
no,
little
no.
eye mask.
V for Vendetta is what it's giving, with
What?
a hat too.
Are we
Look at
looking
him.
at the same Hamburglar?
Yeah, dude.
I mean,
I don't catch that. What are you
the
talking about?
cape and the hat, kind of.
Yeah.
But the mask is.
Have you ever seen that?
Oh yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
That's also in my top 5 favorite movies.
Remember the 5th of November.
The Gunpowder Treason and Plot.
I
I
feel
know
like
no reason the
he would
Gunpowder Treason
have.
should ever be forgot.
Hello. I feel like the alternate universe version of him would, everything's like flipped. So everything he's red, and then he's got
That makes
like
sense.
black hair.
Red for blood. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah,
So they can't see the blood splatter anytime you kill someone
precisely.
for their burger. It's like, bro, you can do so much more.
Yeah.
You don't have to just take burgers. If you're already
Can you
okay
imagine
with
you're like-
violence, like go for money, go for jewelry.
Go for the rich guys.
You're like
the
pleading
high
for your
value
life
stuff.
over this hamburger, and you're like, please, you're so much better than this. He's like, hand it over, or you're a dead man.
Why are you doing this? Because I can.
Oh
All right. I think that's all of our fan questions.
yeah. Thank you everyone for submitting some and
I would love to have this many questions moving forward.
yes.
Yeah.
So
Well, next time I'll probably need to space them out. That's what we'll do. We'll space them out.
save like the first 3 submitted we'll do, and then
Yeah.
the next
Oh,
3
yeah.
we'll save them just in case we have a slow week.
I think we still have more questions, actually.
Really?
We do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We need to
have-
write them
We
down.
have a few.
Okay. Cool.
We can do them later.
Yes.
Do them in a TikTok.
Do it later.
Oh, a concept.
Send me a
Later.
piece of the carne. Send me a piece of the carne for later. All right, guys. Let's break into our final thoughts. Since Harley led the episode, what you got for us, Harley? What are your final thoughts on Women's History Month and everything we talked about?
Well, I will never officially ever have final thoughts because I feel
amen.
like it's ongoing. But I appreciate and really enjoyed the conversation that I had with my besties. It was very enlightening, and it's sad to see how we related with one another, but also empowering to know that we don't stand alone in those experiences. However, I wish those experiences did not happen to women, and God only knows how many other women those things like happen to. But but I hope that when people listen, that they take it and they learn from it and they run with it and they use it for the better. So
Yeah.
I dig.
that's how I feel about that. And I'm sticking to it. I will die on this hill.
I mean, hopefully not, but
Why not?
I understand the desire. Like if you had to die on a hill, that'd be the hill. But hopefully you can not die on a hill
Right.
and
Why not?
continue to grow.
Because we don't want you to die.
We kind of like
what
you,
I tell
Harley.
you, lack of self-preservation, okay?
We kind of like you. We'd like you to stick around.
Okay.
If you're okay with it.
I mean, I guess.
If it's fine.
Since
If
you
it's
asked
fine
so
with you.
nicely, I consider it.
All right. Well, my final thoughts on this are pretty much in that same vein. Like, it really sucks that you guys have to deal with a lot of the crap you have to deal with. And I think really at this point, there's not much that you guys can do about it, but men need to just be better.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, why are we like this?
yes.
And I will go so far as to say that it is 100% all men. Because until it is no men, it is all men.
Mm.
There's no point in taking the risk like, well, you know, it's not all men, so give that guy a chance. Why? Like, it could be him, and
Yeah.
you don't know. It's safer to do that. Like, would I pull a trigger near my head and hope that that's the empty chamber in a gun? No, I wouldn't do it. Same risk for you guys.
Absolutely.
So until it's no men, it's all men. Tim?
Hey, I'm getting that tatted on my body.
That's good. I'll say the thing that I think all white males should, heterosexual males should say, and just shut up, just listen a little bit more.
Yeah.
That's all I'll say. Just shut up and
in
listen
a
a little
lot
more.
of conversations, not just the women's
No,
conversations.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. And just
Even
just shut up.
conversations between straight white men, just sometimes one of you needs to just shut up.
Yes.
Just sit down.
Yep. And that's
Just
my
stop
final
talking.
thought. Just shut up
That's fine. Yeah.
and listen.
And that's not racially driven. That's just the truth of the matter. Like, that's where all the privilege sits, and
Yeah.
a lot of conversations don't need that privilege. They need to understand from the underprivileged point of view.
Yeah.
Couldn't agree more.
And we appreciate those who do that, but that's the bare minimum, so you must do more. So,
Bare minimum.
Yeah.
bare minimum.
You get no applause for the bare minimum.
Yeah, that's where I stand. And I would die on this hill. I'm just kidding. I won't die because they asked so nicely.
Thank you. Thank you. For
Thank
not-
you.
not dying. All right, guys. I think that's going to pretty much wrap it up. Before we go, though, I do want to say don't forget that we do have that voicemail.
Hey.
The phone number is 254-218-4042. It is a voicemail, so nobody will answer when you call.
Yes.
You don't have to talk to real people. And I believe it gives you the option to delete a message if you hate the way it sounded. That's how most voicemails work. Just wait until the end, and it'll say, if you like your message, press 5. If not, delete it and start over. If not, just hang up, and we'll ignore the first one.
JK.
254-218-4042. That's our voicemail there for any questions, comments, concerns. If you'd like, we can read them all out loud. Also, Spotify has a new feature that allows you to rate the pod, so please leave us a 5-star review if you like this podcast, and if you don't, please do not leave a review. Just, try to keep our...
Yeah. Just have a nice day. Just
just
step
Have the,
away.
day, have the day you deserve. Yo, we'll talk about that on another podcast, too, about the TikTok drama that's been going on.
Oh yeah.
That's been fun to watch against my will. Well,
What?
thank you all. I don't want to watch that stuff, but I know so much more about those creators than I ever wanted to know.
Who are you talking about?
The TikTok drama. Well, you're not a millennial, so maybe
No,
not.
no. Lance and
Modern Warrior and Chelsea Hart is me and Donish and
it's
know
definitely
who-
millennial
Our
TikTok.
Exorcist.
I know who modern. What is it?
Have you heard the sound the womb lands? Deep in my womb lands. deep in my womb lands. No,
No.
All the Gen Zers in the room are like, what?
it's a war. It's a war.
Wow.
Some millennial TikTokers made some bad decisions.
Yeah.
And they decided to air it out on TikTok.
Ooh.
So
Yeah.
we'll talk about that later then when it's just Tim and I. Thank you all for listening to our podcast. Be sure to subscribe, leave a rating on your favorite podcast platform, so Spotify, Apple Podcasts, whatever it is. And don't forget to follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook at Always More Pod.
Whoop, whoop.
where can we find you on the social medias, Timmy?
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Timothy Lichty, Liecty, and on TikTok at just Tim Lichty.
And I am on Instagram at Captain CT Ford. Not on Instagram a whole lot, but I'm there. And then on TikTok, I am Christopher.Lionheart.
On Instagrams, you can find me at Harley, WUT Harley. And on the clock app, TikTok, you can find me at harleybean.co.
All right. Well, thanks again for listening, guys, and for being part of the conversation. Remember, there is always more than this. Peace out.
Bye, everybody.
Bye!
Thank you for listening to the Always More podcast. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to subscribe, share, like, and rate on whatever your platform of preference is. You can follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook at Always More Pod. If you'd like to submit a question, you can ask us on any of our social media platforms, or you can leave us a voicemail at 254-218-4042. If you'd like to feed into our caffeine addiction as well as support the podcast financially, you can do so at buymeacoffee.com/alwaysmorepod. For further information and to contact us, you can email us at alwaysmorepodcast@gmail.com.
So, are we just going into it, or do you need that music stuff?